What's up, everybody? It's you guys from Crossbody of Work. My name's Evan.
I am Javier.
We're diving into tier lists. I know. Everybody loves tier lists. Wrestling fans, there's a lot of wrestling
Sure.
YouTubers who do tier lists. Also, isn't that a weird term? We are technically wrestling YouTubers now.
Oh my God, we are full-on content creators.
We are content creators. And so for this content, we have ranking wrestlers' first ever ring names. I went, and all of these are pulled from Wikipedia. These are the initial ring names of 20 different wrestlers from different eras and different companies. These are the first names they used in a wrestling ring, according to Wikipedia. And it's up to us to come to a decision on if this is an S tier all the way down to an F tier name. Some names you probably already knew about are in here.
Yeah.
And then some big fucking surprises.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, I was gonna say we could go in order.
But you want to start with one.
For what we're seeing here, but there is just one here that is an immediate F for me, and
Okay.
I'm not even gonna. We're not even gonna have a full discussion on it because there's just no point. It's gonna be an F, and I'm not moving off the stance. Babyface Nelson, it gotta go.
So Greg the
Gotta
Hammer
go.
Valentine, previously known
go.
as Babyface Nelson, it's not good.
I'm putting that right in the F, and I'm just leaving it there. And we don't have to discuss further because if anybody thinks Babyface Nelson is a good name, why? And also, what's wrong with you? And what mental hospital are you at?
I'm intrigued to see if there's any of these you would prefer over their most popular name. I think that's an intriguing thing to see if there's any that are better. But we'll get to that. I agree. Babyface Nelson is just a bad name. A great name if you're a criminal. It's a great criminal name. We're on the hunt for Babyface Nelson.
That does sound like a Chicago mobster from Prohibition days.
Exactly. Like, he gunned them down. It's Babyface Nelson.
Oh God! And then the guy comes from like shaded in the corner, smoking a cigar. Just
yeah,
can't see his
I've
face.
heard of Babyface Nelson before. All right, let's move on. I'm gonna pick one at random that we do next. Let's dive in to the first ring name of Conan, El Centurion. What do we think of that as a ring name?
My initial thing is a B.
That's exactly where I thought. My initial thing was a B.
Because it's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's pretty good, but it's not like it doesn't. There's a lot here, and I feel like it's not worthy of an A, especially not an S. Like S tier is like
two at most.
I don't know how people, but like S tier, that's like the creme de la creme.
Yeah,
like
I think Conan could have a career as El Centurion. Because that's a luchador name, right? Like that's a luchador name. You could throw him under a mask. You could have him be that. It's better than Max Moon. I'll tell you that.
Honestly, I think it's kind of better than Conan.
So is this our first potential for name better than?
It is for me. I mean, it's better than Conan.
It does sound more like a wrestling name than Conan.
My thing is when I hear Conan, I understand it's pronounced differently. But I just think of Conan O'Brien.
I just think of Conan O'Brien, yeah.
Which
was very confusing for my 1999 brain. I was 7, and I was like, "What do you mean? There's two Conans? That one's very different than the other Conan."
Yeah.
And then I saw the movie Conan the Barbarian. I was like, "Well, what the fuck is this? That's Arnold Schwarzenegger." Anyways,
yeah, he's the third best Conan, and so because of
that's
that,
tough.
It's true. Like Conan the Barbarian. That guy's up there. Conan O'Brien's number 1. Conan the Barbarian's number 2. He's 3 by default. And let's just hope that there's not another Conan variant sneaking around the corner waiting to pop out because he might have some competition again.
It's true.
So El Centurion, I think that's the one.
Which one do you want to go to next?
Ooh, let's go with Shotzi Blackheart, a.k.a. originally named Missy High as Shit.
I love it. It's a direct parody of Missy Hyatt. It's on the Wikipedia. That is the reason. And if there's anyone who should be named Missy High as Shit, it is Shotzi Blackheart.
I'm of two minds with this. One, as a name, it's a bad name.
It's a bad name. It's a good bit. It's a bad name.
But because it's a good bit, it elevates it above the FD tier for me.
So C?
I think it's a C.
I think it's a C tier. I think it's a funny bit. It's not a long-term name, right? You
It's
you
not.
can't be a Missy High as shit. Like
It's
they didn't
not.
even let her have Blackheart for a while. They're like, she's just Shotzi.
Shotzi.
That one's all right.
It's not better than Shotzi. It's just not.
Let's stick with women's wrestling for a little bit.
Dude.
Miss Hancock, the original ring name of Stacy Keibler. Of course, this is her first ring name because she was a Nitro Girl, and I believe she was Nitro
Yeah.
Girl Sky, something like that. And
We're not
then
counting that.
and then she became Miss Hancock, was the personal assistant for David Flair, and would just dance
Yeah.
on tables, and had her first match under the name Miss Hancock. This is also a bit, right? Because sometimes they called her Miss Handcock, and that was
Oh,
funny,
fun.
right? What's your gut instinct here?
Probably like D.
D. It's
Yeah.
D. It's
Like it's
D.
not great.
It's less of a
Listen,
fun bit than Missy High as shit.
sex puns are cool and all that, but like it's just be creative about it,
Sex puns are fun. All right, let's go to what I think is going to be our most divisive one.
Yeah.
Sexton Hardcastle, the original name of Edge.
This is the easiest D I have ever seen in my life, but I know you're not going to agree with me. So I need you to try to convince me that this isn't a terrible name.
Take the vision of Edge and his whole career out of your head. Okay, just remove it from the picture.
I pretty much already have. He's just Adam Copeland now.
Whatever. Even take what Adam Copeland out of your head. Okay,
what's his name?
Whatever. And you just hear that there's a new wrestler debuting, and his name is Sexton Hardcastle. You are intrigued. You are interested.
I'm just thinking, God, this is another weird name that Shawn Michaels has come up with.
No, you are interested. You are intrigued. You're like, what kind of gimmick does a Sexton Hardcastle have?
He's like the fourth member of the Radicals.
He's like
the TNA ones.
Vaguely British. Like, what's his story?
Why is he vaguely British?
I think this is an A tier. You think it's an F tier. I think we split the difference and go.
I think it's a D. I said okay. I think it's a D.
Then I think it's either a B or C, and I'll concede to you on C if you want.
I'll take it. I'll take it. We'll put him as C.
Where do you want to go next? This is so fun. These names are so fucking weird.
We're going straight to Texas Red because
Texas Red.
Thing. I understand he's very Texas and he's very red.
This is true.
Mark Calloway is, but at the same time, they couldn't have done like a Texas Rojo or something, add a little flair to it.
Why not Spanish?
I know, but he's from Texas. They used to be. Let's just. Mexico had control over Texas for the longest time there. My thing is, it's a very apt description. Like in a literal sense, it works for the name and all that stuff. It's just boring, and because of that, I want to shove it as far into that D tier as I possibly can.
I think the other thing working against Undertaker here is that even before becoming the Undertaker, he had Mean Mark Callis is miles ahead of Texas Red as a name.
Yeah.
That's the thing is he had two huge jumps in how good his name is. So I think D tier is fair.
Yeah. It's just there's nothing there, if it was Mean Mark Callis, he's an A. Like that is a straight A. We might even be deliberating whether it's an S tier.
Yeah, strong A. I want to go to Hardcore Wonder, the original ring name of Hornswoggle. It doesn't fit
at all.
It's not for him.
And it's not for him.
I think he did some hardcore wrestling as his gimmick when he started. It's still weird.
Here's the thing. I don't think it works for anybody. Like, it's one thing if you're like, you know what it is? Hardcore Wonder is not someone's ring name.
It's a nickname.
It's their nickname. It's the Hardcore Wonder Darby Allin or like something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the Hardcore Wonder fucking Zack Ryder. And so, it's something like that. As a name, it sucks, and because of that, it's a bad name. Honestly, it's not even a great nickname. Although, it's very dependent on the person as far as the nickname thing goes. And because of that, because it doesn't fit him, because it's not a good ring name, I have to say it's an F. It's an F tier.
I'm not going to fight you putting Hardcore Wonder in F tier. All right, I want you to pick If you think there's one that belongs in S tier, and we can debate it.
S.
Yeah.
Ooh, GI Bro is going as quickly as humanly possible to that S tier for me.
I didn't realize, I was reading Booker's Wikipedia, and part of the reason that they went with GI Bro, one, because it ties into GI Joe, one, 'cause it's bro, whatever, but also because the time he debuted was the time of the Hogan versus Sergeant Slaughter angle, apparently.
Oh,
And they were like, we're playing into the military stuff, even though he was not even close to the WWF. They're like, fuck it, you get to be in the military.
okay.
I love GI Bro as a name. I love it as a gimmick.
I just think it's awesome.
I'm glad he brought it back at one point. GI Bro,
Yeah,
Booker T, tons of good names. King Booker, Booker T, and GI
yeah.
Bro.
I
He's hoarding them.
I don't think it's his best name. Obviously, that's Booker T.
It's Booker
He
T.
has a whole Bad Bunny song about him, but like I really like it, and because of that, it's an S tier. I think that of the list of names that we have been presented here, it's the best one.
Hmm.
And because of that, I think by default it kind of has to be an S tier. Even if we, if I feel like if we had a better list of names here, maybe it is an A tier. Like I think it's an A tier name that gets bumped up to S tier because of the surrounding uh, competitors.
For context, I made this tier list and went through and found all these on Wikipedia, and I picked the weirdest ones I could find, and then some were just
I
like
don't blame you.
normal-ish names. Hey, let's talk about the prototype. Let's talk about your boy John
Oh,
Cena. I want to know
let's talk
where
about it.
you stand on the prototype as as a ring name. I think it's a
I
fun gimmick.
I think it's a fun gimmick, and honestly, I really like the name. I think this is our first A.
Okay, I think
I
John's.
just because he also nailed it at the time,
That's true. He did nail it.
and it's just you look at him and you're like, oh, this dude, he's got the body,
And he had the
you know?
mannerisms. Like I've seen some of this OVW stuff. Like he's got the mannerisms down. It was
Yeah.
weird, but it worked.
He took it. He took a character that was meant to be super weird, and he nailed it. And
Yeah.
he really was the prototype. I mean, the guy fucking became the top face in the company. Like,
He's the
no, I
prototype
know
for a
not
wrestler now. Yeah.
as a prototype, but he listen. I think the prototype is an awesome name. It's also just the word prototype. For some reason, I've always liked the word. So
It's a good word. It's a good word.
it's a good word. So because of that, putting it
A
in A.
tier. All right. Give me another one you want to talk about.
Klondike Mike.
Also known as Bastion Booger, Klondike Mike.
Is so divisive within me. Like I'm at a point where I'm like, I could see this being an S tier name because that is freaking incredible that his name is Klondike Mike.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, that's such a dumb name. Why the hell is his name Klondike Mike?
I think the thing that's actually working his favor is that Klondike Mike is miles ahead of being Bastion Booger.
Oh yeah, this is way better than his.
But I would like you to compare it to his WCW name, which was Norman the Lunatic. Is
It's
Klondike
better
Mike?
than Norm. It's better than Norman, the
But not by
Lunatic.
as much.
No, I mean Bastion Booger is one of the worst names ever, as far as like people who made it to the top with that name. But this is Klondike Mike. I think it might be our second B.
Our second B? Yeah. Yeah. B seems to be reserved for people who we think the name is better than the name they used.
Yeah, pretty much. Like it's not great, but it's better than what we've had before.
Than what we got. Yeah. Okay. I want to go into the single name people. Can we talk Gixx?
Oh, that is so. Gixx is Seth Rollins
Gixx is
for the
Seth
folks at
Rollins.
home. This is another instant F for me. Instant F. I can just imagine him coming out there, fucking. What the hell was the guy, the designer Hardy, Ed Hardy, just Ed
Ed
Hardy
Hardy. Yeah.
shirt, fucking leather thing around his wrist, leather bracelets on his wrist, fucking puka shells, just looking like a total freaking douche. And like just I hate everything about it. I hate everything about it. Why is there two X's? Why?
Gixx as a name sounds like a companion you get in like a Borderlands style game. Like it's like a robot you meet, and it's like, this is Gixx, and he's like gonna help walk you through the tutorial level, and you're like, oh, I fucking hate Gixx. I've done the
He
tutorial
fucking
already.
sucks.
Gixx
It's
sucks.
it's just bad. I honestly, there's not much deliberation that needs to happen here. It's a
It's
straight
bad.
F
It's
in my
bad.
opinion. It just is.
Where do you want to go next after Gixx?
I have kept reading this name and thinking, I cannot believe that was his first name, but also this is kind of awesome. And it's like it's a dumb name, but it works for me. Stevie McFly
For
for
Sami
Sami
Zayn.
Zayn
Yep.
is elite. Like now I'm falling into this is elite. Stevie McFly.
Yes.
Hello, McFly.
Stevie McFly is really good. I think Sammy could make that name work. It does feel. I think it's having fly in your name feels exclusively cruiserweight.
But
Like
it's McFly.
I
And
know,
he
but
also technically was a cruiserweight.
and that's the thing is if I just didn't see him doing anything else as Stevie McFly. Like you can't sell me on world champion Stevie McFly. You can
All
tell
I'm
you
saying
can.
right now is I'm shocked that Kushida's name wasn't Stevie McFly when he came over
That's
to
true.
NXT.
You can sell me on like champion of your local indie Stevie McFly. You can sell me on 205 Live final boss Stevie McFly.
Oh,
But world champion Stevie
Intercontinental
McFly?
Champion dethroning Gunther at WrestleMania,
I
Stevie
don't think so.
McFly.
I don't think I'm screaming my heart out for Stevie McFly.
Here's the thing: it's also of compared to his two other ring names that are of note. The independent one, which the rumors are that he would sometimes double as El
El Generico when
Generico
he was
when El
busy talking to the
Generico
orphans. Yeah.
yeah, when El Generico was busy. And also obviously we know him as Sami Zayn. It's the third of that list, I will
But
say.
it's still good. So is it A tier?
And
It
it's
might
still
be A
good.
tier.
But here's the thing. Now I'm coming back on it. And now I'm at a point where I'm like, is this actually a C? And we're hyping it up because we like Back to the Future.
You know what? Let's go with B. I think B is a comfortable spot for it.
Okay. I'll take that. I'll take a
Stevie
B.
McFly comfortably in B. Tara Ryzen, the original ring name of Hunter Hearst Helmsley, aka Papa H, aka Triple H, aka The Game.
This is an instant D for me.
You don't like puns?
For multiple reasons. One, it's a pun. The pun is dumb. It's terrorizing. Like what? It's not even like it's like a pun off of something like a good word here or something like that. Like it's a bad pun. But also, why is it spelled like that?
It would be tough to I don't like it's like boy named Sue kind of vibes. It's like it's tough to be named Tara. I know a lot of nice Taras. They're all nice ladies, and I don't know, like to be like a big
Maybe
imposing
not
wrestler
all of them.
named Tara. I don't know, Mr. Ryzen, the
Mr. Ryzen ain't working
California
for me, brother.
Ryzens.
Isn't Ryzen like the name of like some sort of PC part, like brand?
I have no idea. I'm surprised my computer even works. Straight to D tier, Tara Ryzen.
Straight to D tier. I would say F, but honestly, it's not as bad as those three.
That's fair.
So now, pretty much anything that's bad, but not as bad as those. Those three might be the only. Let me look through the rest of the. Those are going to be the only
Those are the
three
only
in
three
F tier
Fs. I
because
think you're
they're
right.
instant.
I think we're about to load up D and C tier, but I have one
Oh
that I
yeah,
think is going to go higher.
and it's not going to be Johnny Hawk
It's not John
because
Hawk.
John Hawk is going straight to C.
Yeah,
Because you know what?
that's Bradshaw. He's John Hawk.
You
It's
know
fine.
what? I get it. I get it. John Hawk kind of sounds cool if it's played by the right person.
And
But at the
Bradshaw's
same
not that
time,
guy.
it's not that guy. It's not the tall white man from Texas. No.
You know what is, I think, my only competitor for an S or A tier right now, or one of my two? Thorif Marius.
You know, I want to shake your hand right now.
Thank you.
I want to shake your hand right now because
what a name.
love it. It suits him perfectly. Because if we're thinking about Eric Redbeard, Eric Rowan,
Yeah.
right? Solid names.
Yeah.
They ain't better than Thorif Marius. Because you know what the hell we needed during the Bludgeon Brother days? We
We
needed
need Thorif
Thoris.
Marius. S tier.
S tier.
S
Instantly.
tier. Thorif Marius.
Instantly. It
Uh,
works, and it works well. A Viking gimmick in the Indies? Forget about it.
It's just making money, print money. Let's talk about both halves of one of the most important feuds in ECW history. We have Tommy Dreamer, known initially as T.D. Madison, versus Raven, known initially as Scotty the Body. Which one of these two is better?
Scotty the Body, I guess,
By a
because like
hair.
it's by a hair. And because of that, I think Scotty the Body is a C and TD Madison is a D.
T.D. Madison,
It's not good.
It's a football gimmick. It should be, right?
TD Madison just sounds like you're combining Madison Square Garden and TD Garden. Like that's just what you're doing.
Too many gardens.
You get the gardens and you took the first names of both of them and you combined them into a name. That's what he did.
Look at all these
It's not
fucking
good.
gardens.
It's not good. And because of that, but it's not good, but it's not instantly awful.
It's true.
And because of that, he is a D. Scotty the Body, on the other hand, you know what? It is a gimmick that I feel like would have gone stupid in the IWA Mid South in 2001.
It's true.
Like Scotty the Body, you put Chris Masters out there, you give him Scotty the Body as a name, killing it. And because of that, I'll give it a C. But it's Raven, and it was in the 90s. And because of that, it ain't moving up more than that.
And Scotty the Body also, Raven's names, like he has more than, like obviously Raven is his most iconic gimmick for good reason.
It's also a great name.
Johnny Polo was even a better name than Scotty the Body.
True.
Scotty
I
Flamingo
like it.
was a better name than Scotty the Body.
100%.
But Scotty the Body is still a better name than TD Madison. What do you think that
Absolutely.
I was gonna say what do you think the TD stands for, but my brain's like Tommy Dreamer. It's not though. Maybe?
I have no idea.
All right, we got three left.
Tuberculosis.
We got three left. Two singular names and one name that I'm a big fan of.
Yeah, we're gonna deliberate on Heidi Lovelace because I love the name Heidi Lovelace, and I am heavily considering putting that one at A.
I was exactly going to say A. I think it's a really good name. I think it just works as a name. Like I don't know, there's just something like it rolls off the tongue. It's just got a good feel to it. I think Heidi Lovelace is gonna. I kind of wish
Heidi
got to keep it.
Lovelace is like a witchy gimmick, probably like
but like
witchy
also
vibes.
works for Ruby. Like Ruby could just be if I saw Ruby Soho and she looked like that, like the way she does, and like that's Heidi Lovelace, I'd be like, hell yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
That's what she looked like when she was Heidi Lovelace.
Exactly.
She didn't really change much. She changed her hair, but that's about it.
We have the two that are left are the two that I was like, I have no idea how Javier's going to respond to either of these.
Marley is a C. Marley is Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
And Marley is a C if I've ever seen one. Because it's fine. It's okay. It's not better than Liv Morgan.
No, Liv Morgan is a better name.
I love Bob Marley. I loved Marley and Me the one time that I saw it in theaters. And because of that, that's why I've only ever seen it one time in theaters. And because of that, I'll give it a C.
Doing this, I did some research. Do you know what Liv Morgan's first appearance on NXT was? It was not in a match.
Was it not as the hairdresser in one of those end zone caskets?
No. Her first appearance again, this is all Wikipedia, was as a crazed fan who tries to jump and kiss Tyler Breeze during his entrance.
Which one of us has not tried to do that?
He's Prince Pretty for a reason. All right.
Whom of us has not tried that?
The last one on our list is Khan, this being Batista.
You know, I don't know anything about Star Trek, so I don't know anything about Khan. Okay. But I know Khan is a character.
Correct.
In there.
Yes.
And I don't know if he was biting off of that, but I just think Khan kind of sounds cool because it's just Khan. And also, I love Shaka Khan. So because of that, I want to give this a B.
I can do a B. I think if I did not know his real name was Dave Batista, and I'm like, that's a better name. Like Batista or Dave Batista
is a better name. Well, listen, it's Dave Bautista.
Bautista, yes.
That's like his real name.
Yeah.
Batista and Khan, honestly.
Are you going to call him a wash? I don't think they're a wash. I think Batista's clear in it, but
I don't know about clear. I think it's more even than you think.
We'll put Khan in B. All right. So for our first tier list, where we have ranked all of the initial ring names of these 20 wrestlers, in the F tier, Babyface Nelson, Hardcore Wonder, and Gixx. In the D tier, Miss Hancock, Texas Red, Terrorizing, and TD Madison. In the C tier, Missy High as Shit, Sexton Hardcastle, John Hawk, Scotty the Body, and Marley. B tier, El Centurion, Klondike Mike, Stevie McFly, and Khan. And then the A tier, The Prototype and Heidi Lovelace. And the S tier, G.I. Bro and Thorif Marius. I'm so glad you were on board with Thorif Marius.
Yes, I was right there. Another thing, it reminds me of my boy Thor from the show Ghosts. It also
Okay.
reminds me of Thor and
Thor.
Oakenshield.
Yeah.
And I love that.
These are all
And
good
because
things.
of that, I'm in.
We are definitely going to be doing more tier lists because this is really fun, a really fun
Yeah.
exercise. I'm going to try to put together another tier list of initial ring names or even just even alternative ring names people have used. But if you have ideas for what things we should put into tier lists from the world of wrestling, put it in the comments below. Make sure to hit like on the video, to hit subscribe, to join us as we do all this wrestling stuff. We put all of our podcast episodes on here. We do lots of other wrestling things. We just covered the Iron Claw. Go watch that. That was cool. Yeah, Javier, tell people where they can find you on social media.
I'm on the Twitter machine at JMello Sports. Lob the boy a follow like that.
I am also on the Twitter machine at It's Evan Gomes, ITSEVANGOMES. Most importantly, follow the podcast at Crossbody of Work on the Twitter and the Instagram. We will be back soon. Cop the merch. We'll be back soon to cover more things in tier lists. We will talk to you then.
Later.